It was December 23rd, and the world was a blur of last-minute shopping and festive chaos. That's when the letter arrived. It was impossible. The handwriting on the envelope was my grandfather's, a familiar, elegant script I hadn't seen in 3 years, not since he passed away. My hands trembled as I opened it. Inside, there was no long-winded explanation, just a small, antique brass key that felt strangely warm to my touch. Along with it, a single line of text. It is time to find what I hid for you. My grandfather was a man of quiet wonder. He used to ask me this question when I was a kid, a question that felt both silly and profound. He'd lean in, his eyes twinkling, and whisper, "What if magic is real, but we've just stopped looking for it?" Reading his words now, a wave of guilt washed over me. I realized with a start that I hadn't truly thought about him in months. Not really. I'd been so caught up in the endless scroll, the notifications, the frantic pace of modern life, that the people who shaped me had become faded photographs in my mind. His letter felt like a lifeline thrown across time, pulling me back to something real. The note had one final instruction, a cryptic clue that made my heart beat a little faster. Go to the old house. Look where the light falls at midnight. The logical part of my brain screamed that this was absurd. A prank? A mistake? How could a letter from the deceased arrive now? But another part of me, a part I thought I'd lost long ago, felt a magnetic pull. It was the whisper of that childhood question, the possibility of magic. This was the classic battle, wasn't it? The rational, skeptical adult versus the hopeful, wondering child. That night, I decided to let the child win. I drove to his old house, now owned by a new family. I felt like a trespasser, standing on the sidewalk as the clock on my phone ticked toward midnight. I didn't know what I was expecting. Maybe a reflection from a street lamp? A trick of the moonlight? But then it happened. At precisely 12 a.m., the Christmas lights on the house, which had been blinking in a random, festive pattern, suddenly changed. They synchronized, one by one, forming a glowing arrow that pointed directly toward the backyard. It was impossible. It was beautiful. It was a sign I couldn't ignore. My feet moved on their own, following the silent, luminous command. I crept around the side of the house, my breath fogging in the cold air. The backyard was different. The new owners had put in a patio and a new lawn, but one thing stood untouched, exactly as I remembered it. His workshop. It was a small, weathered shed at the far end of the property, and it looked like a pocket of the past, preserved against the flow of time. The new family had renovated everything else, but this little building remained, as if protected by an unseen force. The warm brass key from the envelope slid into the old lock and turned with a satisfying click. The air inside was thick with the scent of sawdust, varnish, and time. It was him. It smelled exactly like his hugs. And there, on his workbench, sat a wooden box. But it wasn't just any box. The surface was carved with intricate patterns of stars and snowflakes, and as I watched, they seemed to move. The constellations shifted, the snowflakes drifted across the lid, and tiny galaxies swirled in the grain of the wood. It was the most beautiful thing I had ever seen. With trembling hands, I lifted the lid. Inside, nestled in velvet, were dozens of tiny wooden figures, each one carved with astonishing detail. I picked one up. It was me, at age 5, missing my 2 front teeth and holding a dandelion. I picked up another. It was me at 12, with braces and an awkward haircut, clutching a science fair trophy. Another showed me on my graduation day, my face a mixture of terror and excitement. I realized what I was looking at. He had spent over 30 years carving my life. He had carved every version of me, but it didn't stop there. As I looked closer, I saw figures of a me I hadn't met yet. There was a carving of me holding a baby, another of me with flecks of gray in my hair, laughing with wrinkles around my eyes. He hadn't just captured my past. He had carved his hopes for my future. He had carved the woman he knew I could become. In that moment, standing in that dusty, timeless workshop, I finally understood. This was magic. Magic isn't about spells or illusions. Magic is love made tangible. It's the hours, the attention, the devotion, poured into something for someone else. It's the physical manifestation of a connection that transcends even death. Suddenly, the meaning of Christmas clicked into place in a way it never had before. I always thought of it as a historical event, a story that happened a long time ago. His story. But my grandfather's gift showed me something deeper. It's not just about a story that was written once. It's about a story that is still being written through us. It's about divine love becoming real and tangible through ordinary, human acts of love. Each tiny figure in that box represented a moment when I was fully, completely seen. Not for an achievement, not for being perfect, but just for being me. The clumsy me, the joyful me, the uncertain me. He saw it all, and he loved it all. The message wasn't that I had to be perfect to be loved. The message was that I was loved simply because I was here, with the capacity to love in return. His final gift wasn't just the box. It was the realization that we don't have to spend our lives trying to earn our worth. We are already the miracle. Our existence, our ability to connect and to care, is the miracle itself. Every small act of genuine kindness, every moment we make someone feel seen and valued, we become part of that great ongoing story. We become the hands that make love visible in the world. As I closed the beautiful swirling box, I knew what my inheritance was. It wasn't the box or the carvings. It was the purpose they represented. I decided, right then and there, that I would start carving too. Not with wood and tools, maybe, but with my time, my words, and my attention. I would create things: a meal, a conversation, a helping hand that tell other people, I see you. You matter. You are part of this story. My grandfather's last letter wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. It taught me that love, true love, doesn't just live in our memories. It's a force that can ripple through time, leaving behind tangible proof of its existence. It transcends physical reality. The untouched workshop, the impossible letter, they were symbols of how a powerful connection can bend the rules of the world we think we know. Christmas isn't a moment frozen in the past. It's an eternal invitation, extended to every single one of us, every single day, to pick up our tools and continue building the story of love. It's a story that never ends, as long as there's someone willing to tell it. Thanks for watching.